At 2 a.m., I heard someone whisper my name from behind the boarded-up door. I've lived in this house for almost 6 years now, and I still can't explain what happened during that winter. I tell myself it's over, that whatever lived beneath me moved on. But some nights, when the pipes moan or the floor creaks under my feet, I swear I hear the faint sound of breathing coming from below. When I first moved in, the basement was already sealed. The landlord, an older man named Mr. Keaton, told me it had been condemned after flooding years ago. The door was boarded over with 2 heavy planks nailed diagonally across it. I didn't think much of it. Old houses always have their secrets. The rent was cheap, and I was desperate. I had just broken up with someone, my job barely covered bills, and this little house on a quiet street felt like a fresh start. It was drafty, sure, and smelled faintly of damp wood, but it was mine. The first odd thing happened about 3 weeks after I moved in. I woke up around 2 a.m. to the sound of someone walking downstairs. Slow, deliberate footsteps across the creaky wooden floor. I remember holding my breath, convinced I was being robbed. I grabbed the baseball bat from beside my bed and crept toward the hallway. When I reached the bottom of the stairs, the sound stopped. The living room was empty. The door was locked, windows shut. Then I noticed something, a faint flicker of light seeping from the crack under the basement door. I froze. The boards were still there, nailed in place, but the glow was unmistakable. It pulsed like candlelight. I backed away slowly, heart pounding. I told myself it must have been the boiler, or maybe my mind playing tricks in the dark. The next morning, I checked again. The boards were intact. No light, no sign of anything disturbed. Still, I couldn't shake the unease that someone, or something, had been moving down there. Over the next few nights, the noises returned. First, faint scraping, then dragging, as though furniture or a body was being pulled across concrete. One night, I heard soft humming. A woman's voice, low and rhythmic, echoing faintly through the vents. I started sleeping with the TV on just to drown it out. One morning, while making coffee, I noticed something strange. Near the basement door, there was a small puddle of water. It looked recent, glistening in the light. I followed the trail it led to the edge of the boards, then stopped. I called Mr. Keaton. He brushed it off, saying the house still had moisture issues from the old flood, but his tone changed when I mentioned the humming. "You shouldn't go near that basement," he said abruptly. I wasn't planning to, but "No, I mean it," he interrupted. "If you hear anything, just leave it alone." That part of the house was never cleared. Before I could ask what he meant, he hung up. That night, I dreamed of the basement. I was standing at the door, staring at the boards. Behind them, I could hear crying, slow, pitiful sobs. I tried to move, but I couldn't. Then something from the other side whispered my name. I woke up drenched in sweat, gasping. The next morning, I noticed one of the nails from the planks had worked itself loose. I told myself not to look again. I should have left the boards alone, but curiosity has a way of digging into your brain. I just wanted to see. It was around midnight when I finally went downstairs, holding a flashlight. The house was silent, except for the ticking of the kitchen clock. I kneeled by the door and pressed my ear to it. Nothing, just the faint smell of damp earth. Then, I heard a whisper, faint, hoarse, coming from the other side. Cold. I stumbled back, my flashlight shaking. My first thought was that someone was trapped down there. I should have called for help, but instead, I pried one of the boards loose. The wood groaned as the nail came out. I hesitated, then pulled off the second board. A gush of stale air rushed out, cold and wet like a grave. My flashlight beam barely cut through the dark staircase that led down. Something moved, a faint shuffle, a breath. "Hello?" I called out, my voice cracking. "Is someone down there?" Silence. Then, softly, "You came back." I didn't move. My throat went dry. The voice was close, too close. It sounded like a woman standing just below the stairs. I ran, slammed the door shut, dropped the boards, and nailed them back as best I could. My hands were shaking so badly, I bent one of the nails sideways. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, everything felt different. The air in the house was heavy, like the pressure before a storm. Every corner seemed darker, and my phone wouldn't stop glitching. Screens flickering, random recordings appearing in my gallery. One of them was an audio clip, a faint voice whispering from the darkness. "You shouldn't have opened it." I packed my bags that day, but before I could leave, Mr. Keaton showed up unannounced. He looked pale, sweaty. He didn't even knock, just walked straight in and asked, "You went down there, didn't you?" I lied, but he saw it in my face. "You need to go," he said. "Tonight." I asked him what was in the basement. He wouldn't answer, just muttered something about the tenant who never left. That night, I tried to leave, but my car wouldn't start. The engine made a dry clicking noise, then died. My phone battery drained to 0. The street outside was darker than usual, the streetlights flickering like dying candles. And then the smell hit me. Wet soil, rot. It was coming from the basement door. I don't know why I did it. Maybe I wanted answers. Maybe the house wanted me to. But I found myself standing before the door again, hammer in hand. The boards looked weaker now, damp with some kind of black residue. I took a deep breath and tore them off. The stairs descended into blackness. I stepped down, one creak at a time, until my flashlight illuminated the floor. There were muddy footprints, bare, small, leading deeper into the shadows. Then I saw it. A shape crouched in the corner, long hair clinging to a pale face, clothes torn and soaked. "Who are you?" I whispered. It turned its head slowly toward me. Its eyes glowed faintly, not from reflection, but from within. "You left me here," it said. I froze. The voice was the same one from my dreams. I don't know you," I stammered. It smiled a slow, broken smile. "You promised you'd come back." "Dumb." And quait. The flashlight flickered. The air turned icy. When the beam came back, she was closer, an arm's length away. Her skin was cracked like dry earth, her nails blackened. I stumbled backward, but she moved with me, whispering something over and over. It took me a moment to realize it wasn't words, it was breathing, mimicking mine. I bolted up the stairs, slammed the door, and nailed it shut again. For hours, I sat there, shaking, listening. Every few minutes, I heard her scratching at the door, then tapping, then silence. The next morning, the boards were back in place, tight, neat, like they'd never been touched. My hammer was gone. Mr. Keaton never answered his phone again. When I drove to his office, it was empty. "For sale," sign on the window. I moved out a week later. The new place is fine, newer, brighter. But sometimes, around 3 a.m., I still hear tapping. And once, when I woke up half asleep, I saw muddy footprints near my bedroom door. Small, bare. But the next morning, they were back, just 2, facing the bed. And lately, the air feels colder again. The floorboards creak. The house hums at night, like it's breathing. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just me. But last night, I heard a voice whisper from beneath the floorboards. "Don't lock me out again. Thank you for braving the darkness with us." The shadows may recede, but the fear lingers on. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and comment below with your deepest fears. And share this eerie tale with those who crave the macabre.